Hello everybody, Rogue Fox here, and welcome back to another episode of Truly Bedrock. This is episode 12, and I am currently under the base area, or at least very close to where the base area is, and that's because in the last episode, we finished making a wither farm, and I was doing a little bit of digging, and I did throw around the idea of, oh, it is pretty dark down here. I did throw around the idea of making some sort of wither rose farm. Now, with that, I thought I had a very good idea. You see, Prowl has I guess it'd be Prowl and Blue Jay, have this super awesome gold farm over at their base called the Server Killer. And my original idea, at least, was to make one of my own. At least, make a few portals, have some zombie piglins, I think they're called now, have them spawn, drop down here, and then have the wither take them out. Now, the only downside to that is, the zombie piglins did attack the wither like I thought they would, and the wither does stay in place. However, because of the explosions that the wither lets off, there's just no way to save any of the wither roses that drop. So the explosion pretty much takes away all of the wither roses, and yeah, doing that would be very, very pointless. So I spent many hours trying to figure out some sort of way that I can make this work. My original idea before the zombie piglins were to use chickens, and I think we are going to go back to using some chickens. Now the idea is to again, keep the mobs out of blast range of the withers. Well, I mean, they need to be in blast range, but the blast can't destroy the wither roses. So again, I spent many hours testing, and what I found out was right over here in this spot. And we can actually grab a block of obsidian and place that down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spawn a bunch of chickens in both of these holes right here, and then we are going to breed them, and we are going to spawn the wither, which should be somewhere, if I remember off the top of my head, it should be in this block right here. So wither is going to spawn on the initial blast. It's going to hit the chickens. In the midpoint blast, it's going to hit the chickens again, and then on the final blast, it's going to hit the chickens, but unfortunately, it is not going to kill them. So when I spawn another wither, on the first blast of the first wither, this is going to take out the chickens, and when it's all said and done, their drops should not be harmed. This is kind of a slow and painful process for me because, as you see here, I have to start somewhere, so I have to start breeding some chickens, and hopefully we get another adult in this one soon. That way I can start breeding both sides. Now, the reason why I wanted to go with chickens is because they have a health of 4. So as I mentioned, it'll take 4 hits or 4 blasts from 2 different withers to actually kill off the chickens. Now, I'm thinking about it, but it will take a lot longer if we make some sort of zombie piglin farm above and somehow manage to actually drop them into these 2 holes here. We would definitely have a lot more, but the trade-off to that is that zombie piglin have, I believe, about 20 health. So that is what I would have to run. I have to run 5 withers in order to get anything out of them. But at the same time, I would have to, run the farm for however long to get a decent amount. Probably faster than I would get the chickens, but again, it would take about 5 withers to actually kill them. So I'm not sure what the better deal is here at this point. Alright, I have a decent amount of chicken in here. I went through at least maybe like 2.5 stacks of seeds. So I should have over 64 chicken. I mean, at least. Now, I'm going to be very disappointed if this doesn't work like it did in creative, because 1, I spent over an hour or so doing this, and then 2, it worked in creative, so I didn't do anything different where it would only work in creative. So let's go ahead and try this out. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to try to run over here into the corner. So I grab my totem, and I'm going to hang out right here. So let's go ahead and spawn this wither. That. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that's so loud. Oh, I don't want to fall in the chicken pit either. So let's go ahead and hang out right here. And I went ahead and turned the volume down just a little bit. Hopefully that is turned down enough. I know it's still pretty loud, and it should be going into its second wave. I know we're probably going to take a little hit here. Hopefully it's not... Okay. Oh. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't mess things up. Okay, cool. So the chickens have taken their second hit. And again, what needs to happen is this wither is going to die, and on that third explosion when it dies, that will be the third hit for the chicken. And then the initial blast of the second wither should kill them, and in that time I will break the obsidian, run in, and pick up all the wither roses to be on the safe side. We are about to have our final blast, and brace for impact. Come on. Come on. There we go. Oh, so that did kill a few of them. We need to hurry up and spawn the next wither because I don't want anything to despawn. I didn't think it was going to kill them like that, but that might have been the baby chickens. So after this initial blast, we should be able to hop in there and grab some wither roses, and let's... Okay, that should have gotten all of them. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna break it. And... Oh, okay, wither roses. Wither roses. Get out of my inventory. No. Ow. Oh, I was not prepared. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's a stack. Sweet. Oh. Is that all of them? Let's double check here. And I'll take those eggs too. Yeah, I think that's all we're gonna get. I should have definitely been more prepared. Okay, we can definitely use those eggs. That will start our next batch of chickens. And I think that's all we're gonna get. Stack and 37. Yeah, that looks like that's gonna be it. So I think that was it worth an hour? I'm not sure. All right, we are getting ready to place in the second round of chickens, and let's see how many we can get out of this. I should have, again, at least 64 chickens. So let's go ahead and see what we come up with. And there we go. That is the end of this batch of chickens. Let's go ahead. We're going to hop up and see how many we got. And again, not too worried about the wither. We proved that was safe. And oh wow, we got a bunch of wither roses down here. And we need to make some space because, of course, like always, I have no space in my inventory. And would you look at that, we have ourselves 3 stacks of wither roses. So, yeah, that is... I didn't know we had that many chickens in here. I could have sworn there were less, but hey, you know what? I am not complaining about 3 stacks of wither roses. So, in total, we have 4 stacks and 42 of wither roses. So, if I did the math correctly, we can at least cover a chunk worth of wither roses. Now, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with 4 stacks. Again, it is enough to cover up a chunk, but that is a pretty good start if I do say so myself. And what I think I'll do is I will probably do one more round to get some more wither roses. I went ahead and did one more round, and with that, let's go ahead and take a look at what my final result is. So after 3 rounds, we now have what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stacks and 5 of wither roses. Again, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them just yet, but I would say that is a pretty good start, if I do say so myself. Now, in the meantime, because again I was breeding chickens for this, I had a lot of time waiting around for wheat to grow. So instead of just standing around, I thought I would be productive. So this is the wheat I'm growing out here, and it looks like that batch is ready to go. And it would probably be faster if I had some sort of automatic wheat farm down below where the wither killer is. But for now, I was building the rest of this area up. So I got this whole wall up, and then I went ahead and put up this whole wall, and then I placed in this whole item sorting system. So yeah, I definitely had a lot of time that I was waiting around. And with that, I do want to be productive with my time, and I also placed in 2 beacons. So I dug all the way down, got those set up. So this area is coming together quite nicely, and I think at this point, I am kind of ahead of schedule, which is not a bad thing at all. Now, for the rest of this episode, what I think I'm going to do is finish working on this item sorter. So all the items are in place, and with that, for those who haven't seen this before, this is the item sorter that we have going here. Now, with this design, this is a variation of a tutorial I released about, I think it's been over a year now. Man, time has been flying. Now, usually in videos, when I place in an item sorter, I get questions about what the pistons are for. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So for this, just to keep things short, we do have 21 items inside. Well, 22. We have 5, 10, 15, 21. And then the item we want to sort is going to be 22. Now, if we hop up here, with that, we do have a redstone output of 1 coming out of the comparator. Once that 23rd item goes in, so the item we're filtering is going to go down. That is going to go to 23, give us a redstone output of 2, and that is going to power this piston, which is going to cause this redstone torch to invert, which means it's going to turn off and allow the items to flow through freely. And as soon as that item passes, it goes back to 22. We go back to a redstone signal of 1, and then this turns back on. I know that was a mouthful, but that's essentially how this works. Now that this item sorter is in place, I do want to decorate it. Now, remember, the theme of this build, this whole base, is supposed to be a modern theme, or at least as close to a modern theme as I can get. I haven't really done modern builds before, but for those who haven't seen the outside of the base, I think it looks pretty good for a modern type feel. So I want to keep that theme going on the inside, and what I'm thinking is I want to surround this, because we have all white walls, I want to surround this with some gray concrete. Now, from a redstone standpoint, this looks good. I mean, as a redstoner, this looks nice to me, but from a designing perspective, I guess it's not so great. So, let's see. What I'm thinking we can do is, so I want to go with a dark oak, because that's what we are using in the front, and I thought that would look kind of cool to go here. So we'll do something like this, and we'll just do this one side just to kind of see how it looks. Now, my only concern was this part here. I can probably bring the dark oak down. So if we just swing around this way, and we got ourselves a little tunnel, let's go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is complete. Now, we have this. We can still access this chest. From here, we can go ahead and bring the concrete up like so, and then across. And I think that will look pretty cool. But we shall find out, and it doesn't need to go back that far. So we'll start coming over this way. And, okay. I can live with that. Oop, it definitely doesn't go that way. Let's try that again. And I'm going to have to go back and get that, but let's go ahead and swing it around here. And then some gray. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't look bad at all. I would prefer some sort of pillar to come down right here, but I really don't want to knock out these two item filters here. So I think we're going to go ahead and go with that. I think that looks really good. There we go. Yeah, that is looking really cool. And I placed the wall up over on this side. I might make a little doorway here just so I have access to the back for, you know, whatever reason. If I want to go back there and need to do some sort of maintenance, I can do that. Now, over for this side, we still need some sort of way to get our items into the system. Right now, we just have this chest right there, and that's not quite going to do it. So I need some sort of item elevator or water elevator to go up and then over to deposit the items into the chest. Now, for those who watched Truly Bedrock last season on my channel, my idea for the village was to have some sort of central storage system. So I had all my farms in buildings around the village, and the idea... Ooh, what kind of trades? I'm distracted. This is the first time I've seen a wandering trader in here. What do you have? Do you have my head? Oh, you do. I may have to come back. Don't go anywhere. I know you won't. Don't go anywhere because I need to finish explaining what I'm trying to do here, but I do want to buy my head. So don't go anywhere. Now, like I was saying, I want to buy... I'm all sort of confused now. I want to make a water elevator to go into the system, but as I was saying in the last season, the idea was to have a central storage system. Now with this, what we can do is as I place in more farms, we can run some sort of item line, or don't know if it's going to be a hopper line, don't know if that's going to be too laggy, or a water stream going this way and going up into the system. On the back side here, which I haven't built yet, but back here, I want to make another sort of farm design. And then, of course, that is also going to run into the center storage system and whatever else we make. And I guess, well, kind of a spoiler alert, but this chunk right back here, this whole chunk is a slime chunk. So this is going to be a future slime farm. And, of course, as I keep explaining, that is going to, all of the slime drops are going to go into the system here. So I guess, you know, long story short, we are going to finally have a centralized storage system for this season. Now that I've discussed those plans for the sorter, there is a few other things I want to do in here. Again, like I said, at this point I am ahead of schedule, and by that I mean this was part of the plan, but I still have this space here, I have this space here, and I'm not sure if I want to do some sort of auto smelter. I mean, we definitely have space to place that in, and this actually wasn't a part of the plan. This kind of just came as a random idea. Of course, I wanted to centralize my beacons in the center of the base. I guess that's the meaning of the word centralizing. But with that, I didn't expect it to be here. I didn't plan for it. And I need some sort of build to go around it. But obviously, it can't be too big. But I'm kind of thinking of, you know, I'm not sure. I'm not going to build it exactly like it. But I'm thinking of Iron Man, where they had the arc reactor. So I'm thinking I want this to be some sort of power source, like some sort of generator or reactor, fusion generator, whatever they're called. Not quite sure of all the technical terms, but something that we can place right here in the center, and we can explain that as, well, that's what's powering the base. So that's going to power all of the different sections and phases that we have going on here. It's all going to come from this central power source. I think that'll be really cool. And with that said, we are going to bring a close to today's episode. And we made a lot of progress, especially in the base area. I definitely didn't expect to make this much progress that quick. I thought this was going to take quite a while to do, but I guess that's what happens when you're waiting for a bunch of wheat to grow, and I still need to harvest that batch. So even in the last episode, I think this wall was up, and I think half of this wall, but you can see all of the concrete I made to get this wall up, and of course all of the grinding I did to make all of these hoppers and all of these chests. I'm gonna need to go get more iron, and I seriously need some sort of iron farm. The one I saw over at Groova's was pretty cool, and maybe we can take some more wither skulls off of his hands for some more iron blocks. That'd be super helpful for our cause here. But yeah, this area is looking really, really good. And again, I am ahead of schedule, so I'm gonna have to sit down and do some more planning of what I want to do. Thinking, yeah, I'm really leaning towards some sort of auto smelter to go here. And of course, that auto smelter, I don't know, I'm just picturing it filtering this way and going into the system or something. But yeah, definitely a lot of base planning to do. And of course, at the beginning of the episode, we now have 7 stacks and 5 of wither roses. So I definitely need to think of something to do with those. I was almost considering reworking the wither skeleton farm and doing some sort of design with that or something. I just need something to do with those wither roses. But with that said, everyone, this is going to be the end of today's episode. I really hope you guys enjoyed. This has been Roguefox, and I will see you later.